is up? My name is Kevin Martinez, and I'm here as a poet. I'm very blessed and very thankful to be a part of All House Festival today. And since this festival is brought to you by All House as a free and accessible piece of entertainment, I highly suggest, or more so encourage, that you donate whatever it is that you can. However, I will say that your presence and you're taking the time to listen to us and watch us with an open heart and open mind is enough. But donations are still, of course, appreciated. Share this festival on your account or follow our other accounts. Go follow all of the other artists and show them some love and appreciation. The ones before me were absolutely beautiful, and the ones after me will be just as beautiful. It kind of skips over me, so anyways, so this is my piece, and it is entitled, Dear My Feminine. Dear my feminine, tonight I will read to you the saddest line of my life. I loved her, and sometimes she loved me too. I'm not here to be pitied. I'm here to be understood for what I am. I am a poet, made up of more than what the eye can see. I am strong, tough, virile, seriously. I am a man with the charisma like the sun and the mystique like the moon. I am a cowardly lion, exuding bravado and pride only to cover up my deep hurt inside. Dear my feminine, my heart is curved and endless like a room with no corners. Can you really love me? And touch my walls, or will you too carve out a corner in the room, vandalizing me, leaving dust and no broom? Why is it that I can capture your attention so effortlessly, but fail to have you linger gently with me? I mean, seriously, you aren't the more sensitive ones. That's the greatest illusion of literature. It is us. We are the romanticists. Dear my feminine, am I just afraid to give myself to you? Shall I let my walls fall? Maybe I'm too afraid to reveal to you my cracked heart that is meticulously repaired with duct tape. I don't know. But let's begin here. I was always the shortest boy in class. I was impish, and I had what you would call an unattractive face. I was cunning, though. I worked harder than the other boys. I got what I wanted, because I had to learn how to. I was shorter than them, a lot smaller, so I had to work harder. But at the end of the day, the only person I was unable to fully woo was my mother. Don't get me wrong, she was a strong woman, but emotionally unavailable. Perhaps I was born with this temperament, this need to show and be shown affection. Either way, she's still an amazing woman. When I got to high school, I became that kid who secretly wrote songs for girls who never even knew I existed. And when I tried, rejection became my acquaintance. I was Cyrano de Bergerac in the flesh. I was a misfit. I was a closeted poet. I compared myself to the heroes in the movies, but they never seemed to look like me. And the ones that did, they were not heroes. As in film was in life, I thought. The girls flocked to the guys that looked like heroes, so I felt below. I hated my face. I wanted to look like the heroes in the movies. And though I knew I was just as capable and heroic as they, it didn't matter because they still never gave me that time of day. I hated my face. Until I met her. Yes, my dear feminine, until I met her. She was lovely. She resembled my mother, but more. She fulfilled the physical affection I so craved as a child. She was feminine. But for some reason, familial issues arose. I was despised by her family. They thought I was no good for her. They harassed me and mocked my background. She lived on top of a hill. She was a rich girl and I was just a boy from the valley. I was Noah. She was Allie. As in film was in life, I guess. But as fairy tales go, I fought for her. And don't take it lightly when I say that I fought for her. If only you knew what her father did to me. And though we saw one another in secret, it didn't stop her from falling in love with my best friend. I was away in college when the lover I had so recklessly made a hole in me, and the brother I had so slyly betrayed me. Never did I know that a part of me could fuck me up so crazily. I loved her, and sometimes she loved me too. So just like that, they traveled the world and spent nights together by the river. They made love to one another and read books and drank coffee by the water. Two college kids feeling the world at their disposal. I cried and I cried. I hated my face. But when I found God, I was able to breathe again. I found him in art. I only had the stage. The middle ground between God and the audience. I only had my writing. I only had the craft of acting. So I moved back to LA to pursue my career as an actor, where rejection once again became familiar. And the fool that I was, I tried to see her. But it was too late. She was in law school. She was with him. My head was not right. My eyesight was dim. I was being rejected left and right in the audition room, and I was just too much of a fucking coward to admit it. I didn't even know my own self-worth anymore. I fled to the Philippines to discover my manhood. I needed to become acquainted with the soil of my ancestors. I needed to find out what it was that I was made of. If fire tests gold, then suffering tests brave men. So I jumped into the fire. And I burned and I suffered like most real men do. But for a brief second, I thought I found my bliss again. When I met a second her. She was younger than me. She was brave. She was strong. She was abused in her past. And she was fighting deep depression. According to her account, I was the first man who ever treated her right. And not long into our relationship did she start her habit of cutting again. Her cuts went from wrist to forearm, layered on top of one another, both arms. She couldn't stop. Seeing her like this was the worst pain I had ever felt. I used to cry over myself, but for the first time in my life, I cried for someone else. Her arms felt like my own. Nothing hurt me more than the blood on her fair skin tone. I was in her world, her unfortunate cycle. I could not leave her because I did not want to leave her. She ignored me, then she loved me, she wanted me, then she loathed me. The only thing that remained consistent was the blood on her arms. We made love, then she would go home and cut. After seeking help for my own sanity, I had to slowly, for my sake, crawl away. I loved her, and sometimes she loved me too. But I couldn't save her. Dear my feminine, why did I tell you all of this? It is because I want you to understand why it is that I am careful with you. I've traveled through the valley of tears, and I am still hiking towards the mountain of God. But after writing this letter to you, I realize that I want to open my heart up again to you. The women I have just told you about are nothing but beautiful. And they are outside of me. Truly, I wish them well. For any ill intent towards them only displays and reveals the ill intent I have towards myself. I'm braver than that. Thank God. It is a coward that chooses to not fall in love again. It is a coward that chooses to turn bitter and cruel after all of the pain. So today I choose to be a hero. Even if others may think I don't look like one, I am one because I accept you. Because I love you and your energy. For it is you that makes me whole again. Sincerely, your masculine.